In this video, I'll be going over exactly how anyone can make over $10,000 and how I was personally able to make over $30,000 using these simple strategies in just a few months. If you don't already have $10,000, make sure this is one of your main goals, as saving up $10,000 will put you in the top 20% of Americans. And once you have 10 grand, it will open up so many new doors. Be sure to follow along and take notes, and hopefully you guys can apply these strategies and get ahead in life. Let's get right into it. Starting with number one, this one made me most of my money during my first $10,000 saving process. This is called working two jobs. As simple as that sounds, working two jobs. At a certain point, I would work about 80 hours a week, and I would call this full-time. If somebody told me they work 40 hours a week, to me, that was part-time. Changing your perspective is definitely a boost to your income. If you're able to do this, if you're an absolute savage, if you have nothing working for you right now, then go work two full-time jobs. My schedule kind of looked like this: 7 a.m. I would go to my first job. That would get off around 2 o'clock, and then at 3 o'clock, I would start from 3 to 11 p.m. at my second job. So, and then I would do this about 6 times a week, and then this one was also 6 or 7 times per week I would work that shift. Now, I basically found the perfect situation for this. The place I worked at in the morning was like a little breakfast cafe, and they didn't have enough staff members, so I told the owner personally I would love to come in 6 or 7 times a week, and he allowed that. That shift alone, I would work 7 hours, make coffees and serve tables. Each day, I would probably make around $130, give or take. We'll say between $100 to $130. And then with this one, I was making like $16 an hour. So 16 an hour times 8 hours a day. You know, if you're doing 48 hours a week at $16 an hour, so we're right around $800 a week with that overtime pay. So let's do 800 divided by 6. That's about $133 a day. So what I was doing was making $263 per day. Usually, right? Some days I would only work 6 days a week. Some days I would only work 5 days a week. So this definitely fluctuated. I did find the perfect storm with these two jobs. I was able to literally wake up in the morning and then work all the way until I had to go to sleep at night. And this gave me just enough time to go home, get 6.5 hours of sleep, drink a shit ton of coffee in the morning, and do it all again. Now, making $263 a day is killer if you're only spending a certain amount. The number one thing here is you have to control those expenses. So if you've never worked 80 hours a week, I highly recommend it. It would be really good for you. Not only will you save a ton of money, but if you have the ability to, this is a game changer. This shows you what work is really like. It shows you what grinding is like. Me personally, running this for a long time, I can say it is 100% possible. You can totally work 80 hours a week or more. If anyone talks about being burned out, hold on. This is my favorite quote: burned out. Anyone who uses this type of vocabulary, you're a loser. But we're going to cross that out. We are not burned out. We don't talk about that. This is a really good strategy to make your first 10 grand. You can do this super quick. Let's just do a quick breakdown. I was able to save $30,000 doing this strategy for about 6 months and keeping my expenses super low. $263 a day. Typically, you know, that's 6 days a week. It's off just by a little bit. Let's see, 130 times 6. Oh, Jesus. 130 times 6. 780 plus 800. We're at about 1,600 a week. 1,600 a week times 4.2. That's $6,000 a month. You know, realistically, if you're keeping your expenses extremely low, you can easily save 10 grand in 3 months. You can even do it in 2. You just got to be careful with it. If you're able to make $263 a day, you're going to make 10 grand super quick. I mean, if you just take 10 grand divided by 263, it'll take you 38 days to pull this off. Now, during those 38 days, just control your expenses. Don't buy dumb shit, and you'll have it. Work 2 jobs. That's a very simple strategy that almost anyone can do. If you're not working 2 jobs, I would highly recommend looking into that. Your best bet is to work not for corporations, work for people who own their business outright. You can find people hiring on Craigslist, and it's usually people that own their own business. So it's a killer strategy to get a really good job is go to Craigslist, find somebody that needs help, and you might just find a full-time gig making a ton of money working for them, helping somebody out. That's one super easy way. 38 days to hit your 10K. It's very simple. Almost anyone can do this. Anyone can pull this off. You have to get a little bit lucky with both of these jobs. You got to get a morning job and a night job. But if you can get lucky with this, if you can get the right placement, you need that hour in between. I needed that 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. This gave me just enough time to go home, get ready for that night shift, eat some food, or just take food with me. So the second job was a hotel, and they were short-staffed as well. So they put me in 6 to 7 days a week, and I was making a ton of money working 2 simple jobs just like that. No experience needed, making $260 a day. In 38 days, you hit 10 grand. Number one thing is you have to control those expenses. Now, moving into number 2, and I actually comboed number 2 with number 1. This was my eBay reselling strategy. Basically, I would buy stuff from China and flip it for usually like 3 times or 4 times my original cost. Now, if you guys are interested in this, you can check out, it's like a 17 episode eBay reselling playlist on this Money EDU YouTube channel. Dropshipping is one of my main streams of income at the moment, so I highly recommend checking that out if you haven't gotten into this already. The good news with this is it's not saturated at all. Very few people are utilizing eBay for its reselling powers. You can make a ton of money on eBay. You can literally go to garage sales and find value. Now, this does take skill. I would say there's a learning curve, and then at that point, like once you know that like mugs, for instance, sell for $5 to $15 on eBay, once you know that, now you know to look out for mugs. Now every time you go to a garage sale, you know that if they're 25 cents, you know that there's value there. Then there's the other learning curve of what sells quickly, what doesn't sell quickly. But if you get good at garage selling, you can make a ton of money, you can find a ton of value, and there's very little investment involved, so low barrier of entry. And you might get lucky and find that your Y key's broken. You might get really lucky and find somebody selling a ton of stuff that's completely underpriced. They don't know the real value of it, and you might find a gold mine at some of these garage sales. There's a ton of people that don't do enough research when it comes to selling their stuff, or they're in a pinch and they're just needing extra money. So garage sales is definitely a good one to start scouting for and reselling stuff on eBay. That is an awesome way to start boosting your income right away. That's going to be pretty much everything on eBay reselling. And then kind of tied into eBay reselling, we have sites like Etsy, we have Poshmark, there are tons of other ones. We have Facebook Marketplace, we have reselling. Now this right here, if you combo number 1 and number 2, you can very quickly make that first 10K quicker than 38 days if you get good at this, if you put in the time. And now you're thinking, when do I have time to do this eBay reselling stuff? The little bit of time you do have, if you are working 80 hours a week, you can still manage to do reselling on eBay, comboing number 1 and number 2. Go do this. If you want to work one job and then you can really double down on number 2, that's possible. An easier, more guaranteed method is working those 2 jobs, just because you know every time you show up here, you're going to make that 133. You don't know if you're going to make those sales on eBay every day, so it's not guaranteed. So I highly recommend making guaranteed income first of all, and then making slightly less, more risky income second of all. My third and final one is going to be freelancing. And you can leverage this with AI. That's very simple. It's very easy. You can very quickly figure this out. You literally just need to open up ChatGPT and ask it a couple different questions, and you can figure out these answers yourself. I also have a YouTube video that goes into number 3. I give you guys 5 different freelancing ideas that you can leverage with AI. And we use things like Fiverr. We use things like Upwork. And there's one called Deal, there's one called Freelancer. There's so many different websites that you can start posting different jobs, and you can complete those jobs with AI. And then as you complete those jobs, you'll actually develop skills in that department. So I would say charge very cheap prices in the beginning, maybe $5 per service in the beginning. And as you get better, you can start to increase that price and just see how many people are buying it. And then you can slowly scale from there. You know, if it's $5 here and you get better at it, then you can start charging $15, $20. And there's probably 10 more websites you can use. It's the same thing with reselling. You're just basically reselling services. And what's cool is you get better and better at these different skills that you're working on. I'll just give you guys an example. So we're just going to jump over to Fiverr here, and we can say AI image, and you can literally pay someone to make you AI images. I will be your vision to life with professional AI images. This guy charges $65 for one HD image. He's got over 378 likes. He's got 2 orders in queue, so 2 people are waiting for him to complete the service. He's charging $60 to $165 for one photo. I will create a batch of 4 to 8 images that you choose from. Light photoshopping is included. This is so easy to offer such a service, and you can charge so much less than this guy, and you could probably do just as good of a job. You can definitely make tons of money. There's people that are paying for these projects. There's people out there, every single month this guy's making multiple sales. With 0 skills, you can come on Fiverr and start posting different services and just literally take what this guy's doing, change it up, make it your own, and get really good at what this guy's doing, and then just charge less. This is a brutal game of competition, and once you know how to compete, you can just go in here and go after stuff like this. I mean, you can literally make this, create cartoon, anime, create worlds for $120 for one image. What I don't understand is what takes 14 days for delivery. This guy's an absolute trash can when it comes to delivering good quality services quickly. One image for $125 and it takes him 14 days to deliver it? Are you kidding me? Let's try to do a better job than this guy right here. I generated an image in 8 seconds. The fact that he's making $65 to $165 per is wild. I mean, this is simple Photoshop. He's taken an image, cropped it out, and put a background of a wolf with a sunset. Not that hard to do. And then you can just add a simple prompt to enhance it. Somehow it takes him 14 days. I'm still stuck on that. I have no idea what takes 14. Delivery time is 21 days, dude. Get the fuck out of here. And then he's got 173 reviews. Took him 13 days to complete this poor bastard's order. Obviously some Photoshop is used, but it's not that hard to pull off images like this. It's really not hard. So yeah, number 3 is going to be implementing Fiverr services. Taking what somebody's already doing, you can see success with this guy, taking what he's doing and just making it better. Reverse engineer what he's been doing. You can do the exact same stuff, and there's so many different services you can offer. So implementing ChatGPT can absolutely make you so much money if you know how to use it correctly. You can offer all sorts of different services, and you can literally just go to Fiverr and find different people offering these services and see where you can tap into this market and start making some money. Start selling stuff on Fiverr completely for free. So there's no excuse to not put different services on Fiverr that AI can complete for you. That is going to wrap up number 3 of how to make your first $10,000 is start freelancing, leveraging it with AI. If you have no skills at all, the number 1 skill you should be developing is how to use AI. And AI is so stupidly easy to use. How do I get better with AI? Just ask it the most mundane questions and it will structure an entire roadmap for you. Look at all this information you're generating right now, how to get better with AI. And then it tells you core tools to focus on. So Zapier, Make, LangChain, this is AI automation. AI image generation, Dolly, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion. All this stuff you can start applying to your freelancing services. It tells you exactly how to do it. Come on. How can you mess this up? How can you mess this up? You guys have a perfect roadmap to start making 10 grand a month. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you can implement this. And in the future, I'm probably going to make a video on what it looks like once you have $10,000, how much your life changes once you reach that threshold, and then what to do from there and kind of start going into investments, because there's so many different things you can do once you have that 10 grand, but you have to start somewhere. Watch this video back, take notes, and start applying what we talked about here. Now, I've personally implemented these strategies, so I know for a fact that they can work for you. You guys just have to put in the time and effort that it takes, and that's what most people get stuck on. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.